Jannik Sinner has officially thrown in the towel for the upcoming ATP 500 tournament in Rotterdam, leaving tennis fans both surprised and disappointed. The Italian star, who had a killer run in Melbourne, has decided to step back and give his body the break it's clearly screaming for. Let's be real, though, this means no epic showdown with Carlos Alcaraz, and that stings. Rotterdam just lost a bit of its spark, and the ATP circuit feels a little less electrifying without Sinner defending his title. This isn't just about one tournament, it's a ripple across the competitive landscape. Sinner's choice to prioritize rest over relentless competition screams maturity. Dude's playing the long game in a sport that eats you alive if you don't manage your calendar. But, of course, this decision has sparked endless speculation. Is his body still feeling the aftershocks of the Aussie Open grind? Did those marathon matches in Melbourne take more of a toll than we thought? Tennis experts, armchair analysts, and your nosy neighbor are all buzzing about what's really going on. Meanwhile, Carlos Alcaraz, the golden boy of the ATP circuit, steps into the spotlight as Rotterdam's de facto headliner. No pressure, right? The absence of Sinner means Alcaraz is now the big fish in the Dutch pond, but with great power comes great responsibility, and a metric ton of expectations. Can he live up to the hype and deliver a jaw-dropping performance? Or will the weight of being the crowd's favorite mess with his mojo? Either way, the spotlight is firmly fixed on him. The tournament's official channels broke the news with a bittersweet post, quoting Sinner's explanation. After consulting with my team, we've made the tough decision to withdraw from the ABN AMRO Open. My body needs some time to recover after the long journey in Australia. I have incredible memories of winning the title in Rotterdam last year in front of an amazing crowd, and I hope to be back soon. Well, that's a classy way to say, I'm knackered, and I'm out. Sinner isn't the only one bailing on Rotterdam. Gregor Dimitrov also pulled the plug, still nursing injuries from his rough outings in Brisbane and Melbourne. So, yeah, the tournament's roster just got a bit thinner, but don't count it out, it still boasts a high-octane lineup. And with Alcaraz leading the charge, fans can expect fireworks, hopefully, the kind that dazzle, not fizzle. For now, Sinner's fans will have to mark their calendars for February 17th when he's set to return in Doha. Until then, the Italian's absence will linger like an annoying itch you can't scratch. Meanwhile, Alcaraz has the chance to show he's the king of the hill in Rotterdam, but whether he crushes it or crumbles under the spotlight is anyone's guess. Either way, we're in for a ride, and the drama is far from over. Buckle up! Carlos Alcaraz, the pride of Murcia and one of the brightest young stars on the ATP Tour, has taken an unexpected turn in his career path this season. After crashing out in the quarterfinals of the Australian Open at the hands of Novak Djokovic. Yeah, the guy's like a tennis terminator. Alcaraz has decided to switch things up. Instead of his usual clay court grind through South America, he's opted to dive headfirst into uncharted territory. The ATP 500 in Rotterdam, followed by Doha. This move? Bold as hell. And why? To prep for the high-stakes battlegrounds of Indian Wells and Miami, where he's got a truckload of points to defend, a shiny Coachella title and a semi-final finish in Miami Gardens. This calendar shakeup is no random roll of the dice. Alcaraz is clearly laser-focused on sharpening his skills on hard courts, a surface where he's already making waves and scaring the crap out of his competition. As the top seed in Rotterdam, he's got a golden opportunity to rack up experience, cement his place as one of the tour's heavyweights, and maybe, just maybe, steal some thunder from the veterans still clinging to their glory days. Plus, there's the added bonus of potentially throwing down with Jannik Sinner in Doha. That's a showdown tennis fans are practically foaming at the mouth for. Two young guns ready to slap the tennis world upside the head and prove they're the future. But let's pause for a second to talk about some juicy post-Australian Open drama. Picture this, Jannik Sinner, fresh off his epic victory in Melbourne, his third freaking Grand Slam, mind you, and Alexander Zverev, runner-up and world number 2, boarding the same damn flight out of Australia. Yep, destiny has a wicked sense of humor. Not only did they battle it out on the court, with Sinner snagging the title in a nail-biting 6-3, 7-6, 6-3 final, but they also ended up stuck in the same tin can in the sky for hours. Before takeoff, the awkward hilarity had already begun. The two were spotted chilling at the airport, killing time before boarding. Sinner was lounging with his team, probably plotting world domination, while Zverev hung out with his girlfriend, actress and model Sofia Tamala, looking like a guy trying to shake off the sting of defeat. And then, as if fate wasn't done screwing with them, they ended up sitting way too close for comfort on the plane. Imagine losing a Grand Slam final and then being stuck next to the dude who beat you. Ouch. Zverev, though, decided to make the best of it with some cheeky humor. He posted an Instagram story with a photo of himself and Sinner on the flight, captioned, "Well, at least this time I'm ahead of him." A jab at his seating arrangement and, let's face it, a desperate attempt to score some laughs after his crushing loss. Sinner probably smirked at the joke while mentally counting his Grand Slam trophies. The vibes? Awkward but funny as hell. So here we are, with Sinner flying high as the reigning king of Melbourne and Alcaraz gearing up to dominate the hardcourt season. The tennis gods are clearly setting the stage for one hell of a rivalry. Whether it's in Doha, Indian Wells or Miami, every clash between these two promises fireworks. And you can bet the rest of us will be munching popcorn and screaming at our TVs, "Buckle up, folks," because the 2025 season is already shaping up to be a wild ride. Imagine the scene. Jannik Sinner and Alexander Zverev, two of the biggest names in tennis right now, boarding a plane after the Australian Open. They're both probably exhausted, one celebrating a huge victory, the other still nursing the sting of defeat. And then, boom! They discover their seats are literally side by side. You can't make this stuff up. The laughs came quickly, and Zverev, never one to miss a chance for a little banter, whipped out his phone to capture the hilarity for Instagram. Posting a selfie to his stories, Zverev grinned cheekily at the camera, with Sinner in the background flashing a victory sign. The caption? "Well, at least this time I'm ahead of him," followed by a string of laughing emojis. Classic Zverev. It's moments like these that remind you that, behind all the high-stakes drama of professional tennis, these guys are just humans. Albeit incredibly talented, ridiculously fit humans, with a sense of humor. Sinner, of course, took it all in stride, proving once again that despite the pressures of being one of the top players in the world, he's got a laid-back vibe and an enviable ability to laugh things off. Even with all eyes on him, thanks to a doping case that's been buzzing louder than a mosquito in summer, Sinner seems cool as a cucumber. The Italian star is currently gearing up for a pivotal hearing with the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, in mid-April, where his future in the sport could be decided. If things go south, he might miss out on Roland Garros, a gut punch for anyone in his position. But if he's cleared, it's full steam ahead for the Italian prodigy. When asked about the looming trial, Sinner shrugged off the drama like a boss, saying, "If I thought I was guilty, I wouldn't be able to play like this. I'm not worried because I'm confident the decision will be in my favor." That's a mic drop moment if there ever was one. His confidence has sparked fierce debates in the tennis world, with some calling him bold and others wondering if he's in denial. Either way, everyone's got their popcorn ready for this courtroom showdown. Meanwhile, Sinner's 2025 season is kicking off with big expectations and even bigger ambitions. After a stellar 2024 that saw him solidify his place in the ATP Top 5 and reach the finals at the Masters in Turin, he's laser-focused on climbing even higher. First stop? Rotterdam, where he's aiming to snag crucial points in his quest for world domination, or at least the #1 ranking. Then it's off to Doha, where a potential clash with Carlos Alcaraz has fans already buzzing. Sinner's been grinding hard in the off-season, focusing on beefing up his serve and stamina, two areas that could make him an even bigger nightmare for his rivals. And with Indian Wells and Miami on the horizon, he's got his sights set on proving he's a serious contender on hard courts. Honestly, it's no wonder the top seeds are probably losing sleep over this guy. But let's not forget the bigger picture here. The 2025 season is shaping up to be an all-out slugfest, with Sinner and Alcaraz leading the charge for the new generation of tennis stars. Every match between these two is like a blockbuster movie, packed with drama, intensity, and enough jaw-dropping moments to keep fans on the edge of their seats. So, if you're not already following this roller coaster of a sport, now's the time to jump on board. Subscribe, smash that like button, and join us here at Tennis Extra, where we serve up, pun absolutely intended, the juiciest news, in-depth analysis, and exclusive interviews from the tennis world. Whether it's breaking down the latest strategies, spotlighting the hottest players, or diving into the behind-the-scenes drama, we've got you covered. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be one hell of a season.